Hi, it's Joy and today I'm going to be watching The Clone Wars Season 4, Episode 11, Kidnapped. Ominous title. I am very excited to see where we get up to next. The last arc, which I think has drawn to a close, was very stressful. It inspired a lot of rage in me, but I'm ready to jump into a new one. So yes, a reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction and all of my reactions on my Patreon. And let's go.
There is not a warrior among us, Master Yoda.
It is so true. You should be able to stay pacifist and peaceful. But I feel like if anything, you're going to need just a small or some sort of defensive army. You should respect neutral planets or non-fighting planets. But no, not the separatist way.
Think of our presence as a peaceful occupation.
Sure.
Protection as well, I insist.
Oh god, they're being kidnapped.
Citizens, all of them.
Roger, roger.
At this point, no, every single peaceful planet should start figuring out an army, making deals with the Republic, because there is no hope. You know, when they try to be peaceful, this happens.
Anybody else think it's too quiet?
Mm-hmm.
Haven't seen any colonists.
No. I love that. What do they want with this planet? Is this purely just a trap to try and get them, or where are the people? So this has gone far too smoothly.
Surrender.
Well, that was easy.
Nigerian scum. I'll handle that slaver.
Oh,
Anakin has struggled to put his past behind him.
that we can say. Yep.
Don't worry.
Oh, there are so many red flags that Anakin is at risk of what happens, and no one does anything. Or at least nothing that succeeds.
Them right where I want them.
What is that cute creature and how dare he touch it?
You think you've won? Think again.
Oh, it was too easy. This beautiful planet.
Surrender to me, you Jedi filth.
Yeah, he's really filth because he cares about people. Oh.
You Jedi destroyed the great Zygerian slave empire.
Yeah, because you're slavers.
Kill you now.
Zygerian tradition.
What does that mean? Another bird is like, I want none of this.
Fight.
Perhaps.
I mean, that isn't sportsmanlike, starting before he was prepared, you know. Come on.
Do you hear that?
I love Roger Rogers, never change. I mean, you are very lucky that didn't trigger
I
it.
know that would work.
Have a problem.
What problem?
Our spotters are tracking two enemies.
Yes. Look, droids, do you want to get blown up too? Oh great, he gets one too! Equality for all, I'm glad.
Come on, Anakin. Hurry up.
Same time. Ready?
I love it, use their own fire against them. Okay, my loves, quick, 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 quick. Ouch!
The Jedi disarmed your bombs.
Do you not understand what the word disarmed means?
I have one bomb left, Jedi.
Sir, how could you?
Sir, how could you? He's a true separatist as he flees. Sir, how could you? Right. That tickled me that much. Oh, poor droid. Oof. We have ships in orbit, don't we? They can do something, can't they? Ooh, he left some of his creatures behind. Oh my god.
So, what's your plan?
Open to ideas?
That was his plan.
I'll
Look, just escape, creature. Oh god. They're not the ones that did this to you.
Soka, you're only making it angry. Go stabilize the ship.
Anakin!
I'm not so young anymore.
She's growing. Look, don't eat Anakin, please. I don't.
Where are they?
Anakin means this, whether he should or not. Yeah, good.
It is likely they mean to use Dooku to rebuild their slaver empire.
Yep. Evil joins forces and emboldens evil.
But rise of the Sith.
The Sith have a hand in everything Dooku does. Okay, so this episode was very stressful. In the sense that I just feel so sorry. It was stressful in a lot of ways. I don't know why in one particular sense. I feel so sorry for these people, but it's so true that when there is a war going on and the enemy chooses to just attack people regardless of if they're neutral or not, regardless of if they're pacifist or not, you kind of have to choose whether you're going to make a change and stand up and fight. And I know it was too late for this planet, but they probably could have had some forewarning that this might happen. You have to sort of choose whether you're going to abandon your ways and stand up and fight, even if you literally just learned to fight defensively, or whether you're just going to say, oh cool, if we get destroyed, we get destroyed. You know, it was worth it for our way of life. And I think everyone should learn a little bit of self-defense. Like, I don't think countries shouldn't have armies, but I think we should have armies that are purely designed to defend, obviously. But, so my heart breaks when you kind of look at this peaceful planet with just one city on it, where they just made art and they were happy, and they did not get involved in the war. And it seems as though the separatists did not want anything on that planet beyond finding some slaves so they could give them to that guy so that the Zymorian people could be slavers again. I guess that's part of how Dooku's got them on board, kind of getting more forces and more troops and getting people in his alliance. Slavery is despicable and disgusting, and there is no form of rationale that can make it acceptable. And I did think it was quite funny the way he kept like calling Obi-Wan and Jedi filth. I'm like, you're literally a slaver. I have to hope that we're going to find the people very soon, next episode, because I don't want to think about the fact that they're going to be sold into slavery. And I'm pretty sure slavery existed under the Empire, so I know that, like, ultimately it's not going to go the right way, but, you know, we can hope for at least these people for now that they can have some peace and safety. The whole concept of the trap, like, everything was far too easy when they went into the city, and then the guy was like, oh, we have the bombs and everything. It was a very clever way, kind of, whenever a bad guy uses the good guy's desire to protect innocent people to best them, it's always just so chilling and just so it's gonna win every single time, because unless, like in this case, they're able to go and save the innocent people, they will do what you want because they are good. And you know, that isn't a weakness, that's actually a strength to care about people, but the way the bad guys exploit that is always a really stressful thing when it happens, and I think this was a really brilliant way. And everyone just losing in the fight and just like holding on long enough for Anakin, and then, you know, finally, thank God now I can fight back properly, was quite funny. I'm glad we touched again on Anakin, on his past, on how he has never dealt with that pain and the anger. Now, if the Jedi were sensible, they would have a way of, they would have therapists, basically. But, you know, if you think about it, I know Anakin was too old to be trained when they took him in, but he was still quite young, and he was a very, very troubled kid. With guidance and help and someone, you know, therapists are able to work with even the most difficult of patients, and it takes time, but he's been with the Jedi for a very long time at this point. I think if he'd had actual therapy, he could have helped deal with and process what happened to him. The Jedi could have said, oh yeah, slavery is wrong, shall we go and put a stop to it on that planet too, rather than just in that empire there. You know, there were so many things that could have been done to help Anakin with that kind of pain. But I think this is such a sort of emotional outburst where you're fully with him, you know, you want to destroy the slavers too. I just hate, yet again, it's kind of one of those little flickers of he's not a proper Jedi, or at least he's not the way the Jedi want them to be. And if only people had paid more attention, had given him the help he needed when he needed it, especially when he was younger, this so much would have changed in the future. it is one of the many bittersweet things about watching this show, is knowing just how wrong everything is going to go, even how much I enjoy the banter and the friendship and the brotherhood and Anakin and Ahsoka. I love that, and then I'm like, and then it's just gonna hurt. Stress. My favourite moment for a long time was, Master, how could you? Don't know why. That really tickled me. I mean, like, they sacrifice droids every other second, and that droid was just so offended. Oh, rest in peace, droid. But this was a really, really good episode. It brought up some very interesting points about Anakin's character. Ahsoka learned a lot about him by learning his backstory. You know, he very much does not have the conventional Jedi training, and that shows. But whereas Ahsoka is a little different to the exact way that, like, conventional Jedis act, she's not Anakin. She still is able to put a rein on the control on those emotions most of the time. But yeah, this was a very good episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon. I kind of cut that thought off because I don't know where it was going. And thank you so much for watching.